A very good afternoon from wherever you're joining us. This is the Lunchtime News. My name is Yambo, and joining me on the sign language is and Wangeshi. Now we begin with matters security, where the Akamba community in Madogo, Garissa County is raising concerns over the alleged targeting of the community by criminal groups after 2 of their members were brutally murdered in Madogo town. The inter-community conflict kicked off after 1 person was killed in a suspected robbery incident earlier this week, prompting some local groups to target the community in retaliation. While calling for calm, the community leadership urged the authorities to move with speed in their investigations and bring the culprits to book.
Shortly after viewing the body of the late Patrick Mutuk at the Garissa morgue, members of the family and community at large expressed fear over what they're calling targeted attacks.
Mtu anawawa na hatujui anawawa na mtu gani. Kitu kibaya kikitendeka upande ule mwingine, sisi kabila ya Wakamba tunaambiwa sisi ndio tumefanya ile kitu.
Na sheria badala ifuatwe, kijana fuate, kijana James Mwanzia apate haki. Leo hii Mwanzia ako nyumbani kwa sababu ulemavu, lakini kijana amepewa probation ya kufagia kwa DO. Hiyo ni haki.
They blamed our authorities for dragging their feet in bringing members of a local gang known as Kayole to book. The gang has been associated with several attacks and criminal activities in the area.
Sahi hatulali, mama mboga hausi mboga, wale wengine taibada hatuendi ibada. Baadaye tunahofia kwamba kuna uwezekano pia ya kutoroka mji Madogo, sijui twende wapi kwa sababu Garissa yenyewe tushahama.
Separately, over 350 members of juvenile gangs terrorizing Malindi residents have been arrested in the past 1.5 months following a crackdown by authorities. The county leadership and security forces are jointly calling on families to instill discipline in their kin and not come crying to them once they are detained by authorities.
Na tumewajua, tutakujia wewe mpaka madu na tutakutoa.
Munawaficha juadari ili mapolisi wasiweze kuwashika. Munawaficha wale watoto wenu. Na nyinyi mnajua wale ambao wanaotatiza mitaani, lakini kila mtoto wa mtu akishikwa, kila mtoto wake si moza. Mtoto wake yeye si mbaya.
Na nimeongea na vijana na nikimaliza mkutano leo nitakuwa na vijana zaidi ya 700 wa town wote. Nataka nikutane nao niwaeleze vile tutasaidiana.
The Kilifi County leadership further pledged to involve the youth in income-generating activities to keep them away from social vices. Yusuf Far reporting for Lunchtime News.
Now, Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs, Geoffrey Ruku, has defended fellow Cabinet Secretaries conducting sensitization, that is, forums across the country to popularize the government agenda. Speaking in Taita Taveta County, CS Ruku said the engagements within communities were part of public participation and not politics. The Cabinet Secretary simultaneously reaffirmed the government's unwavering commitment to development.
For the last few weeks, members of the National Executive have intensified their engagements with communities across the country, prompting critics to question why state officers are participating in politics. Speaking during a special programs outreach in Mata, Taita Taveta County, Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku defended the forums, saying such are essential for transparency, accountability and inclusive governance. According to Ruku, President William Ruto has given clear instructions that development remains the cornerstone of his administration and all leaders should focus on service delivery rather than political distractions.
Kwa hivyo jameni, rais wa Kenya anawapenda, anawafikiria, ndio maana unaona kuna zile project zote waheshimiwa wenu wamesema. Kuna mabarabara inajengwa, kuna mpango wa kutengeneza masoko mawili.
He called on Kenyans to reject divisive rhetoric and instead support national unity, warning that development cannot thrive amid misinformation and political bickering.
Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya amepanga mpango kupitia idara ya special program ambao mimi nasimamia, ya kwamba hakuna Mkenya yeyote, kona yeyote ya nchi yetu ya Kenya, akuwe hapa Taveta, akuwe hapa Tharaita, akuwe Mata, akuwe Mbuguta, akuwe huko eneo ya Mwatate na kona ile ingine ya taifa letu la Kenya ambaye atarara njaa ndio ukosa chakula. 1, 2, 3 wapi makofi?
During the special programs outreach, CS Roku led a relief food distribution exercise aimed at cushioning vulnerable households affected by hunger in various parts of Taita Taveta County. Gishuke Washira, Lunchtime News.
Thank you, Gishuke Washira. Now, a section of Miraa exporters in Kenya is raising the alarm over what they term as harassment by a cartel operating at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, which is frustrating their efforts to trade with other countries. Speaking in Nairobi, the aggrieved exporters said the unscrupulous individuals bar them from offloading and distributing their consignments without parting with hefty and unofficial fines, making the business environment unhealthy. The exporters are calling on the relevant authorities to take action.
Mtoto kama huyu anyang'anywa 100 million na amesport miraa yake, alikuwa amenunulia mkulima, amekomboa miraa yake, ametuma miraa nje, imeenda.
The cartel has actively sabotaged us young people from working, and it is sabotaging farmers from getting good pays from their produce.
Miraa ikaanguka bei, miraa ikakosa mahali itapelekwa. Saa hii wakulima wanalia Meru, Maua, hakuna mtoto mzazi anapata pesa ya kupeleka kurudisha mtoto shule.
To matters education now, where Basic Education Principal Secretary Ambassador Professor Julius Bitok says a total of 32,000 primary and secondary schools have already submitted enrollment details required to access capitation funds. The PS, who was speaking at the Machakos Teachers Training College while assessing the ongoing verification process, equally said that so far 3,000 schools have received allocations after the data was verified.
The Ministry of Education has moved to ensure accountability in the disbursement of school funds after concerns were raised by the Auditor General about discrepancies in enrollment data.
This exercise is very important, coming after the Auditor General's report, questioning the number of students, the number of schools we are sending capitation to, and also many questions that the Minister received in Parliament last month. And we didn't have any other option but to ensure that we verify our data and provide evidence that we have complied with the directive of Parliament and also the directive as issued in the audit report by the Auditor General.
Principal Secretary Education Ambassador Professor Julius Bitok confirmed that a total of 32,000 schools, accounting for 98%, have already submitted afresh the enrollment details required to unlock government capitation.
So far, 3,000 schools have been able to receive capitation. They have been able to be verified. They have submitted the correct data, the correct number of students, the correct schools, and the process is going on.
He cited Masii Boys High School in Machakos County as a model of early compliance, confirming that the institution had already received full capitation. Ambassador Professor Bitok assured schools that all cleared institutions will receive funds by Friday next week. Education officers are working throughout the weekend to certify entries.
We call upon all other schools to follow the case of Masii to ensure that they receive capitation on time.
The PS also revealed that secondary schools lead in compliance, followed by junior secondary schools, while some primary schools are still lagging due to technological challenges. His assurance came even as government faces a backlash from a section of elected leaders over alleged lavish spending, while schools suffer due to lack of capitation. According to Naivasha MP Jen Kihara, the current finance crisis has led to food and learning materials shortage, forcing schools to send students home.
Capitation is not coming, it's delayed. The children have opened school. And yet we can see a lot of squandering of money, resources, in things they are calling empowerment. If we are not empowering that child in the school, we don't need to empower grown-ups.
Kihara made the remarks during the graduation ceremony in Naivasha for more than 160 youths who have undergone training on entrepreneurship facilitated by Under Inua Partner for Hope, an initiative of the United Methodist Church. Doreen Arange for Lunchtime News.
The youth are being urged to take advantage of global employment opportunities in the skilled trade service sector to pursue their dreams abroad. The calls were made during an international career day organized by Signet Institute of Australia in conjunction with Nyeri National Polytechnic. The institute has trained its students in skills in infrastructure development, which will give them an advantage when seeking employment both locally and abroad.
Is to bring international qualification to our institution and try to create as much as possible the bureaucracy that has not been able to have our students working in foreign countries.
By bringing Australian qualifications here to Kenya, we're able to deliver programs that students can access rapidly to gain an international qualification, which provides a gateway to them to explore the world on a global career pathway.
When you join Signet, a lot of barriers which were there before for you to be competent and for you to be proficient to work in Australia are now broken.
And residents of Osiri village in Nyatike constituency, that is in Migori County, have expressed optimism in accessing clean water after the drilling of a well. Now, the project launched by a local investor has been welcomed as a much-needed reprieve by the community, which says it's had to trek miles in search of the precious commodity. They are, however, calling on the government to drill more wells in the area as a means of alleviating their livelihoods.
Tulikuwa tukichota maji ya river kuja, lakini si safi, ni chafu. But kwa sasa mmetuchimbia maji, tutakuwa tunatumia maji safi.
Uchafu zinabeba uchafu. Zinaenda kwa maji. Uchafu zinaenda kwa maji, yani sasa hiyo maji imechafuka, inatuletea madhara mengi kama bilazia.
Hapa mpaka mahali tunatafuta maji. Wanawake waendi kwa sababu ni mbali. Wanaume kama sisi ndio tuwaenda. Kama una pikipiki, inamaanisha kwamba lazima ununue maji.
Well, and that story brings us to our first break of the bulletin. I'll be back with much more, including sports.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital.
If 25,000 Kenyans each give 1,000 shillings each, that will total 25 million shillings. Now you may wonder, why am I giving you these figures while in the setup of an ICU?
The tracheostomy is what he's using to breathe. So sometimes every 3 hours we sanction because it gets clogged with secretions.
Now, baby Jason has a rare condition called spinal muscular atrophy.
We did a genetic test that confirmed that he had a genetic disorder. Now Jason is 1 year, so he still would benefit from the gene therapy, the Zolgensma.
Join us this Sunday as we focus on SMA, only on KBC Channel 1. Thank you for staying with us. We continue with the news where the government has revoked licenses of 4 tour operators over non-compliance. The Tourism Regulatory Authority says the move is part of a nationwide crackdown on unlicensed operators which began in the Masai Mara and has already pushed several farms to comply. Speaking in Amboseli National Park, TRA Director General Norbert Talam warned that defiant operators will face tough sanctions as the authority moves to restore order in the sector.
Licenses for 5 tour operators, and these tour operators are: one, there's a tour operator by the name Kenmara Tour Operators. The second tour operator that we have cancelled the license is Think Sin Safaris. The third is Twinkle Star Tours and Safaris, and the fourth is Dosha Sha Tour and Safaris. These 4 tour companies, us as the regulator who we licensed before, we have revoked their license, and therefore they should not do any tour business in this country.
And as for their operators, it would be very nice to be as transparent as possible, to give the best security, the best conditions, and to be very precise about schedule and the activities that is going to be done.
And security agencies of Nduguto location, that is in Meru County, have launched a major crackdown on illicit brew targeting chang'aa dens. During the raid, more than 300 litres of chang'aa and Muna type were confiscated and destroyed on site as part of efforts to curb the production and consumption of illegal alcohol in the region. Residents of Nduguto location are now calling on the government to set up a police post in the area to enhance security.
Na tumeweza kunasa pombe kiasi ya lita 300 ya Muna na lita kama 10 ya chang'aa pure na distilling apparatus, kama vitu vile ya kupikia hiyo chang'aa. Mahali tumetoka ni mahali mbaya sana, ni mahali mteremko mbaya sana na ni kwa mto. Kwa hivyo kama vile umesikia wenzetu wakisema, kutoka kwa hiyo ofisi yangu kwenda kwa nearest police station ni 5 kilometers. Ile singine mawa ni kama 20 kilometers. Kutoka hapa ni 20 kilometers. Kwa hiyo mimi nakuwa na shinda kubwa sana. Unaona hata sasa tumedestroy tu pombe. Hatuwezi beba kwa sababu sasa kubeba ni shinda, hata kutoka kwa hiyo mto unless huwa na watu wa kusaidia.
And a report by the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, shows increased labor migration within the region as the population grew by 64 million people. Now, the report, which provides comprehensive statistics and analysis of migration and displacement trends, seeks to generate, harmonize, and utilize reliable data to inform regional and national migration policies. Speaking during the launch in Mombasa, IGAD Deputy Executive Secretary, that is Mohamed Ware, said it is through the availability of accurate, reliable and timely data that nations can develop evidence-based policies and national development plans.
This will help us improve migration statistics, displacement, so that we can have correct policies that are based on evidence. Migration remains one of the most defining features of the IGAD region, driven by political instability, economic disparities, environmental shocks, and deep historical and cultural ties. Our member states are simultaneously countries of origin, transit, and destination.
This report that we are launching today provides critical insights in terms of the trends, patterns, and dynamics of migration in our region, that is the IGAD region, and it offers a solid evidence to base policy and formulation and decision making.
Over to sports now. Morocco thrashed Niger 5-0 to become the first African team to qualify for next year's FIFA World Cup in a round 6 Group E match played last night at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium.
The Atlas Lions showed their intent from the onset, playing in front of the 68,500 fans who thronged the newly refurbished Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium and taking control of the game with a 2-0 lead in the first stanza thanks to Ismail Sabiri's brace. Niger, who played with 10 men for almost 70 minutes after Abdul Latif Gome was shown marching orders for a second bookable offence, found it hard in the second half as Yacoub El Kabi extended Morocco's lead with the third goal following Youssef Belhamari's cross in the opening 5 minutes. Lille forward Hamza Gamane added the fourth in the 69th minute before providing an assist to Azzedine Ounahi in the dying minutes of the game to wrap up a 5-star performance for the home side. The victory gave Morocco an unassailable lead with a maximum of 18 points, booking their ticket for the 2026 FIFA World Cup to be co-hosted by USA, Canada and Mexico for a record 6th time.
We have great players, and it was expected that we would be qualified easily, regarding the fact that we were like the fourth in the last World Cup.
I expect we will win the World Cup and the African Cup, inshallah. Hakimi is the greatest of all time in the Ligue 1. Today, inshallah, demain, Hakimi is Ballon d'Or. Udima Maghreb!
We won, alhamdulillah, and we will be winning and hopefully we will have the African Cup.
We had today the match with Morocco and Niger, and we won with 5. We are so happy and so delighted to host the African Cup, and all the African countries are welcome in Morocco, and we are happy to have you here in Morocco. And also this new stadium is very, very, very great, and the conditions were great, the organization, everything is great. Thank you, Morocco. Thank you, everyone.
I feel great and I feel happy. And I feel happy that Morocco, we feel happy that Morocco is qualified.
Located about 9 kilometers from the central business district of Rabat City, the newly refurbished Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium will play a critical role during the 35th edition of the African Cup of Nations, staging the opening match on the 21st of December and the final match on the 18th of January next year. Reporting for KBC Channel 1 from Rabat City, Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium, my name is Dismas Otuke.
Thank you, Dismas, for that report. Now, Kenya's national youth baseball 5 team, the Falcons, is counting down the days to their biggest international test yet, the World Youth Baseball 5 tournament set to take place from the 23rd to the 25th of this month in Nayarit, that is in Mexico. The youthful side is eager to impress on the global stage with a united goal to bring home top honors.
The squad is currently in the final stretch of preparation at the residential training camp where they have been based since August 9th. Under the guidance of head coach Joel Wangicho, the team has been undergoing rigorous training, fine-tuning strategy, building coordination and working on their overall game plan.
The training is good. As you can see, we even have our junior colleagues helping us to train so that we can prepare and go and compete in the World Cup Championship.
I have a hope and I believe we can do it, so I see us continuing apart from the World Cup, so I believe in ourselves, so we can do it.
Coach Wangicho has placed strong emphasis on tactical execution and fluid team play, with players showing high levels of intensity and focus throughout the camp.
As they grow with the team, they'll be able to catch up and compete with the rest. Like right now, when you see the number we are training behind here, we have the team that is going to the World Cup, and we have the team that is also preparing to represent the country in the Youth Olympics that is coming up next year in Senegal. So we have these players going to the World Cup. Some of them may not be able to play next year because they'll be aging out, but already we have people preparing to take their places.
The youthful side is eager to impress on the global stage with a united goal to bring home top honours.
Kenya Tourism Board, that is KTB, has announced global athletics icon and the fastest woman in 1,500 meters, that is Faith Kipyegon, as a Magical Kenya brand ambassador. Now, the partnership aims to highlight and celebrate Kenya's legacy as the home of champions while leveraging Faith's remarkable international profile to strengthen the country's image as a leading sports tourism destination. Faith is part of the Kenya athletics team that will take part in the upcoming World Championships in Tokyo, Japan from September the 13th to the 21st, where she is set to defend her 1,500 meters title.
I have so many friends. I will invite all of them, especially my competitors from 1,500 meters. If one time get a chance to come to Kenya, I will be so happy because, we have been like being part of history together, especially last year when I was breaking a world record in 1,500. We came along together and celebrate together. So seeing them come to Kenya, I will be really happy to welcome them home.
Still on sports, Rwanda's Celestine Sanzuera won the Sportsbiz Africa Golf Championship at the Kigali Golf Resort and Villas as the fifth of the Sunshine Development Tour East Africa swing culminated. Playing under the weight of home expectations, Sanzuera showcased composure and class to close his final round on 2 under par 70, bringing his tournament total to 15 under par 201 and sailing victory by a commanding 5 strokes. That is. His round included birdies on the 1st, 2nd, 8th, 16th and 18th holes, offset by bogeys on the 2nd, 11th and 13th.
I'm winning for back-to-back tournaments, so I'm so excited to be a winner in front of people from Rwanda. Experience was better. I was happy for them, and they make me play well because they were in my back.
And just before we wrap up the news, a bit of general news where a section of Democracy for Citizens Parliament party members in Meru County has threatened to ditch the Rigathi Gachagua-led party, decrying irregular changes in the party's leadership at the county level. Now, the angry supporters stormed the DCP party offices in Meru town, demanding that they be addressed.
Kama tulikuwa na chamani hapa wa DCP hapa Meru, na leo tukikuja meeting tumekuta tulichaguliwa chamani mwingine. So mimi nimeona hii chama ina transparent na hii chama imeanzia ukora mapema. Kama ina change chamani usiku, hata ticket watatunyima.
Hii ndio wenye chama. Si ndio tulitoka ground tukagongwa tiangas. Itakuwaje tena tunakuja hapa mtu mwenye tunaamini ndio tunaweza wekeza na yeye Timo, tunapata ashatolewa. Ambia Gachagua hivi babangu. Si ni watu wankubu. Si ndio tulipiga gunsi ndio ingie Meru. Ukitutoka tunaweka baria au ingie Meru kaunti.
We are in agreement. We are going to form a team of the county executive. I have advised what we have not done. That's what we have agreed. In the next 2 weeks, we'll strengthen and we'll have a proper list of officials.
The other position our aspirants have actually demanded from the party headquarters, this should reach our party headquarters, is the SG position. The young aspirants have said they want the Secretary General to be of a younger age, who can be able to connect the party with the young generation that you are looking.
Well, and that story brings us to the end of the bulletin this afternoon. As always, thank you for your time and your company. My name is Miraa Yambo. On the sign language was Anwangeshi. Good afternoon.
pesa ndengalale nazo. Kwani wewe unacheza punda?
Kwani wewe kila siku wewe unalala na pesa?
Kuna zangu za matumizi sio?
Zote utapewa asubuhi.
Basi lakini nyumbani kule watoto wafa.
Halale kwa leo, kesho ataenda nyumbani.
Amina. Hadi leo umefunga mbuzi.
Kwa nini tena?
Kupatia pesa uende nyumbani.
Ukakuja hapa uje ufanye nini?
Ati hakuna kulala.
Utakaa hapa mpaka saa ngapi?
Mpaka saa 8 ndipo imerungi taisha.
Could you please elaborate, clarify and substantiate whom are you in this house?